welcome to WWP Genetics. We're thrilled to have you join us for another engaging and educational video. Today, I will be discussing Canada's cannabis market, green gold or growing pains. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating economic experiments of the 21st century, and that would be Canada's cannabis market. From legalization to stock market booms and busts, we'll explore how this green revolution is reshaping business, policy, and culture. Canada was the first G7 nation to legalize recreational cannabis. That landmark move shook up the stock market and stirred up commodity-style trading. In 2017, Bill C-45, also known as the Cannabis Act, was introduced. By June 19, 2018, it passed through Senate and got royal approval. Finally, on October 17, 2018, Canada officially became the first G7 country and the second nation after Uruguay to fully legalize recreational cannabis. This federal legalization allowed adults to possess, purchase, and grow limited amounts, laying the foundation for a highly regulated legal market. That was huge. It wasn't just a policy shift, it was a cultural reset. Overnight, cannabis went from taboo to taxable. Legalization opened the floodgates for a booming legal cannabis economy. Estimations show the industry will contribute somewhere up to $44 billion to Canada's GDP, create nearly 98,000 jobs, and add $15 billion in taxes. The domestic industry swiftly expanded, and Canadian firms gained international attention in the global cannabis boom. By 2023, the sector's value had grown to approximately $10 billion from about $6.4 billion in 2018. By 2024, legal cannabis sales stood around $5 billion, a lower growth rate, and that indicated market maturity. Ontario led the charge with over $2 billion in sales, followed by Alberta and Quebec. The number of licensed stores was somewhere around 3,700 nationwide. Some people knew that cannabis could be treated like a commodity, so they traded, speculated on, and tied cannabis to stock prices. Yet the industry faced major hurdles. A surplus of supply could drive prices down. Despite initial hype, many companies struggle with profits, were burdened with high taxes, and a pricing market. Fierce competition came from the illegal market, which still held around 40% of sales in 2024. Companies like Canopy Growth and Tilray raised billions, but by 2020, reality set in. Oversupply, regulatory hurdles, and slow retail rollouts led to massive losses. Canopy Growth, the once big company of the sector, fell from a market cap of $25 billion at its peak down to around $800 million, while Tilray dropped from $10 billion to about $1.5 billion. By 2025, the global cannabis stock index had dropped over 90% from its peak. But August 2025 brought a surprise. Stocks surged 45% in 1 month. Investors are cautiously optimistic again. While dried flower still dominates, vapes and edibles are gaining ground. Some consumers love the convenience and flavor of vape pens. Edibles are growing slowly thanks to strict THC regulations. Edibles are carving out a wellness niche. After years of oversupply, by 2024, some producers reported a seller's market, increasing leverage on prices and shifting dynamics. Canada exported over 79,000 kilograms of dried cannabis in 2023. They reported the next year that they exported 67,000 kilograms in just the first half of 2024. In 2025, wholesale flower prices increased for high THC cannabis. Canada's cannabis isn't just for Canadians. is being exported globally, especially the medical cannabis. With federal legitimacy, Canada became the go-to supplier for countries still figuring out their own cannabis laws. Regulations are evolving. Health Canada's 2024 review proposed lowering taxes for small producers, revising THC limits, and expanding medical access. These changes can unlock new growth and help the industry compete globally. Not everything is rosy. Over licensing and mismarketing led to a wave of closures. But this consolidation is creating leaner, smarter companies focused on innovation and sustainability. Public opinion has shifted. Over 70% of users now buy legally, and cannabis related arrests have plummeted. Legalization didn't just create an industry, it changed lives. Canada led the G7 by legalizing recreational cannabis under the Cannabis Act. The market drew massive investor attention, but then fumbled due to oversupply, competition from a illegal sector, and high costs. Stocks soared, then crashed. Big names like Cannabis Growth, Tilray, and Aurora went through wild rides. Looking ahead, Canada's cannabis industry is maturing. With better data, smarter regulation, and global demand rising, the green economy might just be ready for a second wind. It's a fascinating case of how regulation, consumer behavior, and investment intersect. Let me know in the comments below what surprised you about Canada's cannabis journey. We hope you found today's video educational. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share to stay updated on our latest content. For more exciting insights, be sure to check out our brother channel at WWP Logistics. See you in the next video.